The 1988 United States quarter dollar, part of the Washington quarter series, is a fascinating and historically significant coin that reflects a continuation of American coinage tradition and design elements dating back to the 1930s. Struck by the United States Mint, this coin features a familiar image of George Washington, the first president of the United States, which has been the standard design on the obverse front of the quarter since 1932. The 1988 quarter was minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark, for proof coins. Each mint contributed to millions of coins in circulation, with the Denver and Philadelphia mints producing the vast majority for everyday use, while San Francisco produced high-quality proof coins for collectors. The obverse of the coin, designed by John Flanagan, displays a bust of George Washington facing left. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions Liberty at the top, In God We Trust to the left of Washington's neck, and the date 1988 at the bottom. If the coin was minted in Denver or San Francisco, you'll also find a mint mark, D or S, just to the right of the ponytail ribbon. This iconic portrayal of Washington was originally based on a bust by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon, and was intended to mark Washington's bicentennial birth anniversary in 1932. By 1988, this design had been in use for over 5 decades and was well recognized by Americans and coin collectors worldwide. The reverse back of the coin, also designed by Flanagan, features a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing military readiness, with 2 olive branches beneath the arrows, representing peace. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one, just above the eagle, and quarter dollar at the bottom. This reverse design was part of the traditional Washington quarter series from 1932 until it was replaced by the 50-state quarters program in 1999. The design reflects American ideals and strength, combining classical motifs with national symbolism. In terms of composition, the 1988 quarter is made of a clad composition, consisting of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, with a pure copper core sandwiched between 2 layers of copper-nickel alloy. This clad composition replaced the original 90% silver coin starting in 1965, due to rising silver prices and hoarding during the early 1960s. The coin weighs 5.67 grams, has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, and features 119 reeded edges, giving it a distinctive texture along the rim. These physical specifications are standard across all clad Washington quarters. From a numismatic perspective, the 1988 quarter is considered a common date within the series, meaning it was produced in high quantities and is generally not rare in circulated condition. The Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 562 million coins, while the Denver Mint produced over 596 million. The San Francisco Mint made around 3.2 million proof coins, which are specially struck with polished dies and blanks to achieve mirror-like fields and sharp details, often packaged in mint sets for collectors. Most 1988 quarters found in circulation today are worth their face value, 25 cents, but examples in uncirculated mint state, condition, or those with unique features, such as striking errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or full step details, can command a premium among collectors. High-grade examples graded MS-65 or higher by agencies like PCGS or NGC are especially desirable to collectors looking to complete full sets. One interesting aspect of the 1988 quarter is that it is among the final coins to feature the original reverse design uninterrupted before the numismatic landscape changed dramatically with the state quarters program in 1999. Therefore, while the coin is not scarce, it holds value as part of the classic Washington quarter lineage that spanned from 1932 to 1998. Collectors seeking to complete a full run of these original quarters often seek out coins like the 1988 in the best possible condition, and proof versions from San Francisco are particularly prized for their visual appeal and limited mintage. Culturally and historically, the 1988 quarter comes from a transitional era in American numismatics and economic policy. The late 1980s were marked by inflation control measures, a strong dollar policy, and increasing global trade. Coinage during this time remained largely traditional in design, but was on the cusp of significant changes in both appearance and technology, including the eventual introduction of modern commemorative coin programs and digital minting records. While the coin itself may appear commonplace, it's a small yet enduring piece of American economic history that connects everyday transactions with the country's founding principles through its design. In summary, the 1988 United States quarter dollar may not be rare, but it holds deep historical continuity, showcases classic American artistry through the Washington and heraldic eagle designs, and reflects the durable nature of U.S. coinage. Whether you're a collector, historian, or simply someone curious about your pocket change, this coin offers a window into decades of American tradition and the evolving story of the nation's currency. Next top, the 1989 United States quarter dollar, part of the Washington Quarter Series, represents not only a piece of circulating American currency, but also a symbol of enduring national heritage, technological evolution in minting, and the bridging of traditional design with the brink of a revolutionary change to come in the late 1990s. Struck during the final decade before the debut of the state quarters program in 1999, the 1989 quarter stands as a key representative of the classic Washington quarter design, which had been in place since its original issue in 1932. The obverse front of the 1989 quarter features a profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States, designed by John Flanagan, whose initials JF appear on the truncation of Washington's neck. This portrait was based on a bust by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon, showcasing Washington with a stoic yet dignified expression. Surrounding the bust are the inscriptions Liberty above, In God We Trust to the left, and the date 1989 centered at the bottom. The reverse back of the coin features a heraldic eagle, also by Flanagan, wings spread, clutching a bundle of arrows symbolizing strength and defense, beneath it 2 olive branches representing peace. Above the eagle are the words United States of America, with E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one, just below, and the denomination quarter dollar at the bottom. In terms of composition, the 1989 quarter was struck in a copper-nickel-clad format, which had been adopted since 1965 after the United States stopped minting 90% silver quarters due to rising silver prices. These clad quarters consist of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The total weight of the coin is 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.26 millimeters and a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, along with 119 reeds on the edge, a security feature to deter coin shaving, a practice more relevant when coins contain precious metals. The coin was minted at multiple facilities, most commonly at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint marked D. A lesser number may have been struck in San Francisco as proofs for collectors marked S, though these were not intended for circulation. The mintage figures were significant. Over 512 million quarters were struck in Philadelphia and over 896 million in Denver, making the 1989 quarter widely available and not considered rare in circulated condition. From a historical perspective, 1989 was a pivotal year in global politics and U.S. history. It was the final full year of Ronald Reagan's presidency, and many of the political shifts of the time, such as the gradual end of the Cold War and the fall of the Berlin Wall, cast long shadows over American society. Economically, the United States was entering a new phase, with the beginnings of the tech boom starting to bubble and the transition from a manufacturing-based economy to a service and technology-oriented one becoming apparent. Domestically, this era reflected a balance of conservatism and emerging progressivism, mirroring the consistency and conservatism of the coinage. No dramatic changes occurred in the design of circulating coins in 1989, though planning was underway for the upcoming bicentennial of Washington's inauguration, leading to the commemorative 1989 Congressional Gold Medal, and coin collectors were eagerly watching for changes to come. From a numismatic standpoint, while the 1989 Washington quarter is not considered particularly rare or valuable in circulated condition, it holds collectible value in high-grade uncirculated or proof formats. Coins graded MS-65 or higher mint state may fetch a modest premium from collectors, especially if they have strong luster, no contact marks, and well-struck details. Proof versions especially those from San Francisco in deep cameo (DCM) condition, are valued more highly for their mirror-like fields and frosted devices. A small number of error coins from 1989 exist, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or clip planchets, which are prized by error collectors. However, no major known national errors or varieties are widely recognized for the 1989 quarter. As such, its collectability mainly lies in pristine examples, and its role in completing date runs of the Washington series from 1965 to 1998. Aesthetic appreciation of the coin also plays a role in its continued circulation. While modern commemorative quarters began in 1999 with the introduction of the 50-state quarters program, coins like the 1989 quarter preserve the classical American design rooted in federal iconography and the neoclassical artistic traditions of the early 20th century. The depiction of the eagle, long a symbol of American freedom and military might, balances the constitutional reverence conveyed by Washington's portrait. For those who lived during the late 1980s, the 1989 quarter represents more than currency. It's a tangible artifact from a time of transition, optimism, and legacy. Many such coins are still found in change today, a testament to the durability and the longevity of U.S. coinage designs. In terms of circulation, the 1989 quarter continues to serve its purpose in commerce, often worn smooth from decades of use, but still holding legal tender value. It is emblematic of the era just before the personalization of coins took off, when all quarters bore the same reverse design and uniformity was key. This coin, therefore, stands as a kind of final chapter before the narrative of U.S. quarter design evolved into a series of state, territorial, and historical themes. For educators, it also serves as an ideal specimen to introduce topics such as presidential history, coin minting, the function of national symbols, and the evolution of American money. While it may seem commonplace to casual observer, the 1989 quarter carries within it layers of national pride, monetary continuity, and the humble artistry of everyday objects, bridging past and future in the palm of your hand next top. The 1990 United States quarter dollar, also known as the Washington quarter, is a significant representation of American coinage and part of a long-standing series first introduced in 1932. The 1990 quarter features a familiar image of George Washington, the first president of the United States, on the obverse front side, a design originally created by sculptor John Flanagan to commemorate the bicentennial of Washington's birth. This design has become iconic and had been used consistently on U.S. quarters from 1932 until the state quarters program began in 1999. On the obverse of the 1990 quarter, Washington is shown in profile, facing left. His hair is tied back in a queue, and above his portrait is the word Liberty, while below it is the date 1990. To the left of Washington is the motto, "In God We Trust," and to the right you can find a mint mark, if present, which signifies where the coin was struck. P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and no mint mark is typically used on coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint in certain years, but starting in 1980, the P mint mark was used on quarters. The reverse back of the 1990 quarter displays a traditional eagle reverse, a powerful symbol of American freedom. The design, also by John Flanagan, depicts a majestic heraldic eagle with its wings outstretched, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing military readiness. Beneath the arrows are two olive branches, representing peace. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America across the top and quarter dollar along the bottom edge. Just above the eagle's head appears a national motto, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one. This design remained on the coin for over 6 decades, and 1990 was one of the final years before it would be replaced in 1999 by the 50-state quarters program, which introduced reverse designs specific to each U.S. state. In terms of specifications, the 1990 Washington quarter is composed of a clad composition, an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This composition had been standard since 1965, when the U.S. Mint ceased using 90% silver in regular coinage due to rising silver prices and the increasing cost of producing coins. The coin has a diameter of 24.26 millimeters, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and weighs 5.67 grams. The edge of the quarter is reeded, meaning it has tiny grooves that run vertically around its circumference, a feature that was originally added to deter coin clipping in silver coins, but remains a standard part of modern coin design. The minting of the 1990 quarter occurred at two primary locations, the Philadelphia Mint P and the Denver Mint D. Over 927 million quarters were struck in Philadelphia, and over 927 million were struck in Denver, making the coin relatively common in circulation. There were no quarters struck at the San Francisco Mint for general circulation, but proof versions, specially made for collectors with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, were produced there and bear the S Mint mark. These proof coins were made from the same clad composition, unless they were part of special silver proof sets, which were not offered for 1990. As a circulating coin, the 1990 quarter has no silver content and was used primarily in daily commerce. Most examples show signs of wear from use, such as smooth details or dull luster. However, uncirculated coins, those that were never used in commerce and retain their original mint luster, and proof coins are of interest collectors. Coins that are certified in high grades, such as MS-67 or MS-68, by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can have more value than face value, sometimes reaching several dollars or more depending on condition and rarity. Proof versions with the S Mint mark are also collectible, especially if they remain in pristine condition within their original proof sets. From a historical standpoint, the 1990 quarter was issued during a time of relative economic stability in the United States, just before the Gulf War began, and as the Cold War was nearing its end. George H.W. Bush was president at the time, and the U.S. Mint continued to emphasize coinage as both a functional and artistic part of American life. The coin reflects a long-standing tradition of honoring foundational American figures, such as George Washington, and maintaining iconic symbolism, such as the eagle. Although not rare, the 1990 quarter still holds numismatic interest, especially as part of a complete date and mint set of Washington quarters from 1932 to the final year of the eagle reverse in 1998. For collectors and enthusiasts, it serves as a tangible link to the closing decade of the 20th century and to a design that had become embedded in the American consciousness over many decades of use. In summary, the 1990 United States quarter dollar is a common yet historically rich coin that encapsulates the artistry, symbolism, and tradition of American coinage. Featuring the long-standing Washington and eagle designs, struck in durable copper-nickel clad composition, and minted in large quantities, this coin remains a staple of U.S. pocket change while also offering a place in the broader story of 20th century American numismatics. Whether found in circulation or collected in high-grade condition, it represents not just 25 cents of purchasing power, but decades of American history, identity, and design heritage.